10 deadly jobs worldwide kill over 3 million. 1 is in Taiwan. Number 1 pays 5 million in 3 days. Insurer's spirit. 10th, Sat diver. BLS data show that from 2011 to 2017, U.S. commercial divers had 3,380 non-fatal incidents and 39 deaths, showing saturation diving is perilous indeed. Saturation diving is extreme. Divers live for days in a high-pressure chamber matching seabed pressure, letting body tissues saturate with gas, avoiding repeated long decompression stops after each dive. They dive to the seafloor to weld, repair, and build in dark, cold, high-pressure conditions. This tech boosts efficiency, yet leaves divers long-term beyond physical and mental limits. In this environment, divers face constant risks everywhere. Decompression sickness is common. Rising too fast makes bubbles expand, causing pain, paralysis, or death. High-pressure gases can kill. Oxygen causes seizures. Nitrogen impairs judgment. And HPNS leads to dizziness, tremors, and nausea. Every dive is a battle against the limits of one's own body. Welding work adds another layer of danger. Water conducts well. Mishandled power can easily trigger sudden cardiac arrest. Even using safer DC, divers still must stay alert to every torch cable contact. Welding releases hydrogen and oxygen that pool into explosive mix. Ignition is disastrous. Even avoiding power and blasts, divers still risk strong currents, pipes, tight spaces. Sudden currents can all trap you fast, draining oxygen. Cold is a silent killer. Long exposure lowers body heat, slows thinking, and raises risk. In turbid water, visibility is near zero. Divers work by touch, each step blind probing. Unlike regular diving, saturation divers spend weeks in cramped, isolated high-pressure chambers, facing huge stress. Long-term pressure may cause cataracts, bone necrosis, lung decline. Some divers still bear hidden health costs long after quitting the trade for many. High risk brings high pay. Commercial divers earn about $70,000 a year. Top saturation divers can get $30,000 plus per month. But not everyone earns the pay. Saturation divers need welding and diving skills, plus tough training and exams. Only a few institutions worldwide offer formal training, like Tasmania, Australia's Commercial Diving Academy today. Yet years of training and grit still pay back with pain and regret. 9th, bomb disposal engineer. Global risk stats show about 800 bomb techs die yearly. That number means they face explosives, risking life. Always. EOD technicians handle all kinds of explosives, from battlefield bombs to underwater mines and suspicious city packages, including high-risk improvised explosive devices. Not cops or soldiers, they talk to bombs. In the US Army, only EOD may touch and disarm UXO. Sent worldwide, ready for orders. Tech brings robots, drones, and metal detectors. Yet if remote control fails, a technician wears a 40 kg suit, approaches bomb. Kevlar and fireproof armor blocks some blast and shrapnel, but never guarantees safety. Heavy, stifling suits make temperatures spike within minutes. In high heat, exhaustion and fainting are common risks. History has many tragedies. Major Lisa Hyde, Britain's first female bomb disposal officer, was killed defusing a high-speed bomb in Afghanistan at 29. In 2025, British bomb disposal expert Chris Garrett died clearing unexploded ordnance in Ukraine. His death showed this job's brutality. Even veterans face danger. In Germany, 3 20-year bomb techs died handling a WWII chemical delay fuse. Bombs aren't kinder with experience. They detonate with ruinous force when you err. Beyond explosion risk, prolonged hazard exposure threatens bomb techs' health. In the 1970s, some UK bomb disposal techs exposed long-term to chemicals had far higher bladder cancer rates than others. Psychological strain still lingers. Bomb disposal means terror attacks or war, and many develop PTSD afterward. For them, one win brings applause. One mistake ends a life. Training is nearly as brutal as the danger they face every day. In the US Air Force or Marines, EOD techs train hard monthly to always ensure correct calls in any situation. They must learn to spot explosives, operate robots and sensors, and coordinate with teammates on chaotic battlefields. Each drill tests mind and body. Hesitation in real missions brings irreversible loss. A mosquito researcher. Mosquito researchers confuse many. How is studying mosquitoes really dangerous? Aren't they just tiny insects? In fact, mosquitoes are deadliest, killing 700,000 yearly, outpacing big predators. Why then so dangerous? Now, diseases. Malaria, dengue, chikungunya, Zika, yellow fever, and West Nile virus all spread by mosquitoes. Scientists studying media must sample infected wards or handle pathogens in labs. Each step is dangerous. CDC reported a 2016 lab Zika infection after a needle stick. Other incidents included bites from lab piglets and blood sample spills during handling of virus samples. Any mistake could turn the researcher into the next patient. Even more dangerous than the laboratory is the field work of a mosquito researcher. They go into rainforests and villages in Africa or Southeast Asia, catching disease-carrying mosquitoes. Scorching heat drains you. Beware snakes, beasts, and local suspicion. British entomologist Ernest Gibbons, collecting blood in Uganda, was mistaken for witchcraft and killed. Rare extremes show mosquito researchers battle disease and also face complex social and cultural dangers every day. Mosquito control needs insecticides. Researchers face long-term spray exposure. Studies show Malaysia pest control workers often cough and struggle to breathe. Long exposure links to poorer memory. Attention, a US survey found long-term pesticide exposure greatly raises risk of cognitive decline. In short, mosquito researchers often risk their health to save others' lives. The job also brings heavy daily mental stress. During outbreaks, researchers monitor and sample non-stop, often working on despite extreme exhaustion in malaria and dengue-prone regions. They watch daily real people collapse from mosquito-borne illness. That unseen weight often hurts more than any lab virus. Yet these life-risking researchers advanced global public health for us all. Francisco Ebezos, known as the father of Philippine entomology, helped control malaria in the mid-1900s. Burkinabe scientist Anthony Debote, who lost family to malaria as a child, led Africa's first GM mosquito trial, offering hope. These names aren't as famous as Nobel winners, yet their work changed the world too. 7th, wind turbine rooftop mechanic. Wind power, a key clean energy source, is rapidly spreading worldwide, yet behind those sky-high turbines stands a crew facing unthinkable risk. They're the technicians who service turbine tops, high above the ground. Wind turbine towers are usually 70 to 120 meters tall, sometimes taller. Technicians either climb a narrow vertical ladder inside, or take a simple lift to finally reach the top, where the nacelle and blades are located. Here, they face both the terror of high-altitude work and the ever-present risk of falling anytime. Even a single loose safety rope can have fatal consequences. The harsh environment further multiplies the risks. Wind farms sit on coasts, peaks, and deserts, with winds year-round. Temperatures plunge below zero or scorch. Rain, snow, and ice cause slippery ladders. Lightning strikes. Repair crews work at wind and weather's edge, sometimes to tighten a bolt or check cable, risking death. Inside the nacelle is equally deadly. Turbines have high-voltage circuits, generators, huge gearboxes. Poor lockout/tagout can cause arc flash, fires, explosion. Current can erupt instantly in tight spaces. One misstep can cause severe burns, even death in a flash. At the same time, heavy parts may fall at any moment, and spinning blades and strong winds can be deadly with one mistake. Also, crews climb dozens to hundreds of meters daily, working long hours in cramped, noisy nacelles. Severe fatigue lowers focus and slows reactions, leading to more accidents. The 4S factor says new workers are 4 times likelier to have accidents in their first 6 months. When inexperience plus exhaustion hit, danger multiplies greatly. In Victoria, Australia, a worker hoisting a blade was crushed by a turbine rotor, dying instantly. To cut risk, GWO and national safety agencies launched strict training programs, from high-angle rescue and first aid to fire and electrical safety. Every wind tech needs full training. At the same time, equipment improvements like permanent anchors, horizontal rails, and fall protection are reducing accidents. Even so, safety isn't guaranteed. Technicians must stay alert always. Society should respect and notice them, and press the industry to upgrade safety so turbine climbers go up, down, home safely. 6. Snake venom milker. Since the 1950s, Australian Reptile Park exclusively extracts venom from land snakes. The center keeps about 250 deadly snakes, milks venom bi-weekly, saving 300 lives yearly and over 20,000 total. Proof venom milkers matter here. Venom milkers, by definition, extract venom from poisonous snakes safely. They make the snake bite a membrane, milking venom into a vial, send it to labs for antivenom and drug research. Nearly all antivenom comes from this step. Without these people, hundreds of thousands of snakebite victims wouldn't survive worldwide. In India, the Yarula Snake Catchers Co-op supplies vital venom yearly for nationwide antivenom, sustaining the entire public health system. However, dealing with venomous snakes means that any momentary mistake can have a fatal cost. Australia's brown, India's cobra, Africa's black mamba. One bite can be catastrophic quickly. Venomologist Jim Harrison was bitten by a South American rattlesnake, paralyzed within minutes, and almost died. Even with strict safety, snake bites remain an occupational norm. Pain, necrosis, paralysis, bleeding, even death haunt this job. Besides, working near hundreds of venomous snakes keeps you tense daily, nerves stretched years. Many venom milkers develop chronic stress, even anxiety, irregular hours. Activity depends on conditions, so tasks run at night or dawn, wrecking routines. Meanwhile, snake welfare is still debated. No labs cap milking at 4 times per snake in 21 days to ease stress. Repeats still harm body and mind. Ironically, venom collectors know the danger yet stay, because their work has huge social value. Each drop bets on life. Antivenom is the antidote for snake bites. Without venom milkers, any research can't begin. Snake venom is highly valuable. Some often sells for $100 a gram, yet payoffs don't match the risk. Most venom milkers earn little. Beginners may make a few hundred monthly. Even experienced earn $2,500 to $6,000, with limited career options. Long exposure to snake venom can harm health. Thankfully, scientists keep seeking safer alternatives. Example, study broad antivenom, synthesize antitoxin. Efforts aren't common yet, but could curb reliance on venom milking, letting this work fade from history. 5th, nuclear plant maintainer. Chernobyl's 1986 blast still glows in history. Engineers and operators stormed the core, giving their lives to avert a worse disaster. To outsiders, nuclear plants seem guarded, with checks and safety standards above ordinary factories. Yet those entering between reactor and pipes know it's close combat with an unseen killer. Radiation comes first. IAEA data show workers in normal operations average about 0.3 millisieverts yearly, near background radiation. Yet, it's only an overall mean on paper. Actually, deep maintenance jobs can reach 0.6 MSV yearly, or more. Cumulative risk is a silent undercurrent, yet may someday become irreversible health damage. And nuclear plant upkeep hazards aren't just radiation either. Engineers face a vast complex system, thousands of pipes, hundreds of valves, modules, hot steam, turbines, Any deviation in detail can trigger a chain reaction. The IAEA says maintenance includes checks, testing, and calibration, often in tight, risky spaces. For maintenance engineers, it's a race against time and precision, no margin for error. Worse is the nuclear plant interior. Heat and pressure lurk. Studies show long-term heat exposure causes cramps and acute heat stroke. In nuclear plants, steam leaks or cooling failures spike temperatures instantly. British regulators list fires, explosions, flooding, and falling objects as hazards. Engineers wear heavy protective gear, work in tight windows, pushing body and will to the brink. Many plants have run for decades. Engineers retrofit aging systems, swapping parts and adding tech, while battling non-compliant components and stricter rules. As some nuclear plants retire, dismantling and waste handling need new skills and risks. Entering danger zones feels like racing the unknown. Mental pressure is this job's invisible shackle too. Frontline maintenance engineers live daily with constant accident risk and intense double pressure from management and public opinion too. Burnout, anxiety, and duty intertwine. Any mental slip risks catastrophe. Ranked 4th, a PMC mercenary. The rise of private military firms follows post-Cold War geopolitics. America's Blackwater is the best-known example today. Founded in 1997 by ex-Navy SEAL Erik Prince, it provided security and training for governments, companies. As U.S. actions grew in the Middle East, Blackwater surged, winning contracts, guarding diplomats, projects, and bases in Iraq, Afghanistan. By mid-2000s, this firm became the U.S. government's key overseas private army. Mercenaries operate in the most unstable areas: Baghdad, Fallujah, Kandahar. In 2004, 4 Blackwater contractors were killed in a Fallujah ambush. The footage shocked the world. This incident exposed mercenaries as brutal risks and directly sparked the U.S. full assault on Fallujah. For these mercs, each job could be their last return. It also brings unpredictable legal and public backlash too. September 2007, Nizer Square, Baghdad. Blackwater killed 17, injured 20, though suspects were prosecuted. A U.S. presidential pardon reignited controversy again. To outsiders, this was not just an armed incident. It warned about private military firms' legal status. Neither troops nor guards, they often freely operate in law's gray zone. To escape scandal, Blackwater rebranded as Z Services in 2009, Academy in 2011, then joined Constellus Holdings in 2014, scrubbing its past, but a new name doesn't erase risk. Mercenaries on overseas missions still face the same firepower, the same suspicion. Individually, people become mercenaries mainly for very high pay. PMCs often pay several to 10 times regular forces, and seasoned retired special ops are prized. But that pay carries high risks. In war zones, mercenaries face ambush anytime. They lack troops' legal and medical support, and if killed, families often struggle to get fair compensation. Nationally, reliance on private military firms conflict. It fills troop gaps and cuts government political cost, yet weakens the state's violence monopoly, blurring lines between the army and private militias. This gray zone complicates diplomacy, risking long-term post-war rebuilding. Thus, UN and scholars urge stricter oversight of private military firms, but enforcement is tough. Third, volcano monitor. About 800 million people live near active volcanoes. Monitoring matters, protecting lives and homes. Volcano monitors shoulder peril, threading flames and toxic fumes to spot a lifeline before disaster hits. The power of a volcano is destructive. When magma bursts out, it can swallow a village. Ash blots the sky. Pyroclastic and mud flows race, burying life instantly. Modern tech infers eruptions from quakes, uplift, and gas changes, but phreatic steam eruptions defy warning, increasing monitors' job risk. Sulfur dioxide, Isha, and H2S spread silently. Inhalation damages airways, can cause acute poisoning. Volcanic particles may carry heavy metals like cadmium, mercury, arsenic. Hidden long-term harm. Even best masks, detectors can't fully fend off risks. Volcanic areas are covered by andesite flows, forming sharp, hollow ground that may collapse anytime. Volcanic small quakes can instantly cause cracks or rock falls. volcano watchers climb crater rims cautiously. Every step may hide a trap. When eruptions hit, danger spikes instantly. Pyroclastic flows can top 100 kilometers per hour, hot enough to vaporize all life. Rocks fall like cannonballs. Monitors can't react. Since 1975, about 30 volcanologists have died from blasts. Rocks, gas falls. Transport and environment also test volcano monitors. Many volcanoes are remote. Scientists fly in by helicopter, but turbulence, and weather risk crashes. Even in Alaska, monitors may face wild bears. To cut risk, volcano watchers must gear up fully. Mask, goggles, turnout gear, helmet, radio, standard kit. They carry first aid, vests, maps, water for emergencies. Each field mission has a commander coordinating and monitoring. If risk rises, evacuate at once. Recently, researchers built volcanic life risk tools to quantify dangers working near unstable volcanoes and guide decisions scientifically. Tech advances aid volcano monitoring. Drones, satellites, and IoT sensors are used. Yet key fieldwork still needs monitors on site personally. They must hear the volcano's pulse up close. Number 2. Loggers. Loggers, or lumberjacks, are globally known as an extremely dangerous job. Even called widowmakers, they're Taiwan's most dangerous work too. So why is logging so deadly? The answer is in the forest's harsh truth. Loggers don't just cut trees every day. They always fight falling timber, roaring chainsaws, ton-heavy machines, and wild weather. U.S. labor data shows loggers face 132 fatal injuries per 100,000, far above the national 3.4 average. In the same-sized workforce, loggers are dozens of times more likely to die on the job than average people. No wonder the trade has a chilling nickname. Loggers' main danger is often the trees themselves. Tree may weigh hundreds of kilos or more. When it falls, slight error can crush a worker instantly. No survival. U.S. surveys show 59% of logging accidents are strikes by falling trunks, branches, or logs. Also, loggers work in remote mountains with weak signals and slow rescue, rugged ground, slick mud, and harsh weather. Even with gear, working in heavy rain or wind can cause serious accidents from poor visibility or slipping. Unlike city work sites with quick rescue, remote logging crews are alone. Any slip can kill. The numbers show it. A brutally clear truth. In the U.S., 2006 to 2015, about 66 loggers died on average yearly there. In 2021, logging had the highest fatality rate, 82.2 deaths per 100,000 workers. In 2023, death rate hit 98.9 per 100,000. Total 52 loggers died, not just the U.S. Similar problems affect nations worldwide. Taiwan's smaller logging sector still carries big risks as well. In mountain work, falls, slips, or machine accidents often make immediate rescue very difficult. For generations of forest workers, danger feels almost like a lifelong destiny. You may wonder, with machinery so advanced, why do loggers still die so often? Machines ease some labor, yet create more complex risks. Logging and hauling machines boost efficiency, but if they run wild, they're deadlier than handwork. Nature's unpredictability means safety measures can't fully erase all risk. Number 1. Red Bull photographer. Red Bull is a drink, yet globally branded with extreme sports. Behind it, some who risk everything quietly. Red Bull extreme sports photographers. They are less photographers and more adventurers, as their lens often have to follow athletes rushing toward unknown frontiers. Everyone knows extreme sports shun comfort and safety. Snowy cliffs, roaring seas, brutal high winds, even space's vacuum edge. Photographers must catch athletes' breathtaking moments and endure the same harsh conditions. They may mount cameras on cliffs, squat for hours in sub-zero snow, even skydive or wingsuit fly beside athletes to capture shots. Athletes test human limits. Photographers, in their own way, bind risk to every shot. The danger isn't just hype. Extreme sports, A slight angle error can mean disaster. Photographers stay close. Imagine chasing a skier bombing downhill at 100 kilometers per hour. The cameraman matches that pace. One tiny skid can shoot you off course, even into rocks. Likewise, at surf contests, photographers brave waves to catch the split second before riders vanish under a giant breaker. Drop the camera, and it's totaled. But danger hides sweet rewards. Glassdoor says Red Bull photographers earn about $70,000 yearly, or NT $2.3 million, with salaries $53,000 to $96,000. US sports photographers average $42,345, roughly $20 per hour. Most famous dangerous mission by far, the 2012 space jump. That year, Austrian daredevil Felix Baumgartner jumped from 39 kilometers up, free-falling to break the sound barrier. The feat drew over 8 million worldwide to the live stream, becoming that year's biggest sports business sensation. But behind the camera, photographers face tough conditions and must still capture perfect shots. This footage will surely enter history. Media speculated project photographers made up to $160,000 per shoot, about NT $5 million, and might get ongoing image copyright royalties shares. Sure, high pay can't erase risk stress at all. Extreme shooting tests skill, stamina, and toughens the mind too. Often they stay calm through fear and pressure to keep the camera steady. A brief lapse blurs the shot, and can put them in danger too. That's it for today's video. Of the world's 10 most dangerous jobs, which one stuck with you most? Tell us below in